All right, man. How's everybody doing? Good afternoon. About to get to some motion talk, man. Please, if you come in, um, hit the like button, smash the like button. Do not disturb the peace, right? Um, we're not talking no boxing on this one. So once again, if you come in, you're all welcome to come on. But we are not discussing no boxing. I'm not I don't want to waste my time right now. I'm not trying to waste my time discussing that. I'm going to be speaking on this. Like I said, I'm not wasting my time talking no boxing. If you missed the boxing live earlier, play it on the playback, man. Because right now, everything that I'm watching that people are talking about on boxing, it just is what it is. Nobody has got nothing confirmed, right? You're talking about stuff, but the actual people that you're putting out content on has not confirmed anything that's being reported. Boxing is pointless right now. But what I'm going to speak on is Leroy Ramos. This right here kind of hit home, right? I waited a while. I was going to do this on January 5th. Leroy Ramos, as you see, husband, father, martyred driver killed over a fare, $2.50. I know Leroy. I know his late wife. Leroy used to live in Huntington, where I'm from. So when I seen this, right, in January, see, there goes his wife. I know her. I know him, right? I didn't report on it. But I was like, damn, it should hit home. I did. They had a GoFundMe and all that. I threw a couple dollars towards that. But I want to do a quick follow-up on some of the things that has been going on with this case. Thank you, CW. Yeah. Unfortunately, you out there on the West Coast, so you be missing on when I go live. You missed it. I not only did I cook, I broke down. Like the YouTube boxing scene is a joke, man. It's like I waste my time. It's a joke, right? Because everybody's reporting on this because Dan Raphael put out a tweet, but Lou DiBella hasn't confirmed it. Eddie Hearns hasn't confirmed it. Shakur Stevenson hasn't confirmed this. Nor has Jay Prince, Turkey Al-Sheikh. But this is what YouTube boxing is sitting around talking on. I'm not going to waste my time on it right now, man. Hopefully this shit does get confirmed, and then I have to do another video to it. But right now I want to talk about Leroy Ramos losing his life in Atlanta, in Decatur. I'm going to be playing some videos of this. He was murdered from, I believe, the children, their children, because Leroy was 47, but he was murdered from a 14-year-old, two 16-year-olds, or, we'll get the ages. But they were young teenagers over, you see what it says, a $2.50 bus fare. The video was, that you're going to see the confrontation. Three suspects were arrested, but two were released already. Two were released. Two of the teams were released, and they dismissed the charges. And the third one is looking like he might get off from this too, because they are saying that they defended themselves. And when I play some of the videos, right, you're going to see that they had a verbal altercation, and one of the teens is going to, it's gonna escalate to physical. He spits on Leroy, and Leroy retaliates in a physical altercation ensues. The three teenagers with Leroy. The kid in question pulls out a handgun and lets off 7 rounds, 3 of which hit Leroy. I'm going to play all this content in a second, but I just want to speak on it, right? And led to his death, man. 47 years old, man. You know, married, family, man, working. Led to his death, man. Now I didn't. I was gonna speak on it. This happened in January. I wanted to give it some time, right? I was like, I'm not a content creator out here trying to get views and do all those things and shit, right? But I am a news. You know, I'm expanding my news empire now, man. Because like I said, the boxing shit, you niggas can have that shit, man. Have it. Do what you need to do with it. I'm as far as like I put out boxing content, but as far as like indulging on that shit, I don't want that audience, man. I'm good. I'm gaining a new audience, right? Um, but yeah, I'm gonna play some of this content, man, so you guys could get a sense of what went down for Leroy. This is Fox 5 Atlanta, so you know where it's coming from, right? Husband and father driver killed over affair. Loved ones call for justice, right? Now, this is when it originally happened. But then you're going to see when I go on YouTube, there's videos of the Leroy. There goes him and his wife, Monique. Play a little bit of this for you. This is the Fox 5. Courtesy of Fox 5. I do not own this content. Oh, Fox 5 doesn't want to play. All right. So I guess I'll just read it to you, right? Well, we can go on YouTube. I'll go on YouTube and play it, right? But as you can see, that he was very well liked and received. A lot of his co-workers, everybody came out. These are his co-workers. They had the visual for him. This is back in January. There's his son right here, his young son that is left behind. That is his wife right here. Here goes some more pictures. There they go right here. It's just tragic, man. Tragic events, man. 47 years old, young, man. So here it is. He leaves behind 2 daughters and a 7-year-old son. It's just tragic. But watch, this is now we're gonna get to the twist, right? 2, like I said, 3 suspects, 3 young teens was arrested. 2 of them have been released, and the charges have been dropped, man. Now I was doing my due diligence. That's what y'all call it, right? I was doing my due diligence, man, and the reason why the charges was dropped, and the third teen who's still locked up, he may be coming home as well. He may be coming home as well, because as you're gonna see in this content that I'm about to play, Leroy was the aggressor. He was the aggressor, man. He was the aggressor. I'm gonna play the content, man. Right? And like I said, these guys were teens, 16, 16, 14, and 14. I know the oldest one was 14, man. Now these are the original ones that came out, right? When it first happened, 3 months ago, man. Man, it was tragic. I remember when this initially popped off. When this initially popped off, I was like, yo, I seen it. I was like, yo, I know Leroy. I was like, damn. I wanted to put out content on it, but I was hesitant just because of the situation. So I said, I'm going to revisit it. And upon revisiting it, I'm like, damn, they let the kids are going. I'm like, damn, two of the kids got released, right? And I'm like, damn. Then I was doing more research, and the videos were coming out. How they got you seen Leroy being the aggressor, right? He was the aggressor because this is all the bad thing is that this shit was all captured on video. It was all captured on video. I'm trying to find the one that has the video. Here it is right here. No. I don't want to use this guy's one, but there's one that is similar. That's the visual. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Because that's somebody else's content. See, everybody was talking about this. Here it is right here. This is it. But that's the 40. I want this a longer one. See, here it is right here. Only one team charged. Bang. I'm going to use this one real quick. And then I'm going to show y'all the actual video.
One of the three teenagers arrested in connection to a bus driver's death will now face charges. The DeKalb County District Attorney's Office making that announcement. Leroy Ramos was killed in January. Police say he got into an argument with the teens over a bus fare and that a 16-year-old shot and killed him. The suspect's attorney and mom are asking for this legal process to play out.
I want everyone to know that everything that happened, my sons was a victim.
It's unfortunate. No one wants that. But we got to see the whole story and let the courts decide. I'm not going to make conclusions. Let's let the courts and the facts.
The teenager faces several charges, including murder. The district attorney has not said if the suspect is going to be charged as an adult.
Okay. You see, only one. Remember, the initial was 3 arrests. It was 3 arrests, right? It was 3 arrests. I want to point that out, that it was 3 arrests. But now, only the 16-year-old is going to be charged. And I'm going to show you why now. I'm going to go to that video and show you why. Remember, it was 3 arrests initially in this killing, right? It was 3 arrests. But now only one of them is going to be charged, man. And the one that's going to be charged is the 16-year-old.
Been speaking to union officials there. What do?
All right, this I don't own this content, but this content is going to show the confrontation, right? Right, you're going to see Leroy. Leroy is going to get to fighting with these kids, man. Like, they're going to be arguing. One of his co-workers is going to try to step in. I really don't want to play this guy's stuff, man. But he had the video. I think the other videos, I should have took it when I seen it.
Ramos getting into an argument with 3 teenagers who refused to pay the bus fare. One teen.
All right, so one of the teenagers actually.
See, that was it right there, right? Leroy and the kids, they got to Yeah, this is the better one. Are y'all seeing that right there? Are y'all seeing that? This is the actual video. But I want to show that guy's content too, because he did a wonderful job. But this is the video, right? This is what led to the shooting death. This is the video what led to the shooting death right here. You see the confrontation. They did not. They tried to board the bus or get on the bus. They did not have the 250. So this is what happened. Leroy, the bus driver, refused to let them on the bus. They got to arguing. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm busting down my lunch. Right? So this is the video that we're watching right here. Arguing. There go the shots. There go the shots. That was the shots right there. 7 shots, 3 of which struck Leroy. But you're gonna see.
It was 8 rounds of gunfire, ending a bus fare.
8 rounds. I said 7, 8 rounds. Yeah, you hear Leroy spit on me, nigga. Spit on me. Because the young teens threatened to spit on him. And I think they might have had spat on him. And then a physical altercation ensued. And we're seeing what happened. But this is the video, man. That's why I said 2 of the teens, remember, they initially made 3 arrests. 2 of them now aren't even facing the charges no longer. You see how heated it got, right? Can y'all watching that? Y'all watching that? We doing different content, man. Are y'all watching that? You see how he's telling them, yo, spit on me, your mother. That was Leroy right there. Leroy was a bigger guy, had a little bit of size to him. Now, those kids in question, right? 16, 14, and 14, man. When you see the kids, they're going to be kids, man. They're talking reckless to a grown man, married man, with his own family and children. I believe his son was half those kids' age. I think his son is like 7, maybe a little older. The other 2, his daughters are older. So he's dealing with children. That's why I said children. They're kids that could be his kids' age, right? But it gets heated. It's getting heated, man. You heard him? I'll beat off. Look, see. Did you hear that right there? I'm gonna bring it back. I'll whoop off 3 of y'all. Spit on me. See? He says, spit on me, and I'm gonna fuck you up. Are y'all following this, man? Spit on me, and I'm gonna fuck you up. Here, take this. Get out of my face. Go. Get out of my face. Spit on me and I'm going to fuck you up, right? Y'all following that? See, the kid with the red hoodie. Pay attention. This kid right here with the red hoodie is going to be the shooter. Remember, I showed y'all the first angle first because I wanted y'all to hear the shots. Now you're seeing a better angle of the confrontation. But the kid with the red hoodie on is going to be the shooter. That is the one that's still in custody right here. This kid right here with the red hoodie on. He's the shooter. I'm going to pull it right there. This kid right here with the red hoodie on is the shooter. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm getting nicer. I'm getting nicer with this. There he is. That's the shooter right here. He's the one that's in custody. But all three of them were charged initially. But now as more evidence and stuff has came out, the other two kids, the charges was dropped. Remember, it was 3 suspects initially arrested and charged with this. And that's why I played that other clip of his mother saying when everything comes out and his attorney, he may walk away from this, man. Now, see this guy right here. You see the co-worker? He attempted to intervene, but he should have intervened, man. He should have at least tried to walk Leroy away, get Leroy back on the bus, or even, because being that him and the kids wasn't really a confrontation, he should have tried to walk them away. But he kept letting this ensue, and it's going to get physical. Leroy's going to swing on that. Watch, pay attention. Y'all beat all 3 of y'all. See, oh man, that was it. Y'all catch it? I'm gonna bring it back. Bring it back, man. This is why. Did y'all catch that? Who's in here watching this? I'm gonna bring it back. Did you catch that? Leroy threw the first punch, man. Leroy threw the first punch, man. Did y'all catch that, man? He said the young boys watching too much gangster movies. But did you see Leroy threw the first punch? That's why those other 2 kids the other 2 were released already, man. Leroy threw the first punch, right? Pay attention to that, man. When the altercation jumps off, Leroy throws the first punch, man. Right there. Right there. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? CW, you still in here? And whoever else is going to watch this, did y'all catch that, right? Leroy threw the first punch, man. He swung. He swung on that kid. Remember, they were 14, 16, and 16, or 14, 14, and 16. He's a 47-year-old grown man. He swung on that kid, man. He swung on him. Are y'all following this? Are y'all following this? Please let me know, man. Giving you a different type of content. Different type of content, man. Are y'all following it? Let me know. Are you following this? Giving you a different type of content. I'm going to bring it back one more time. Right? Leroy swung on the kids, man. That kid in the red hoodie got a gun on. He did not pull it out. Now he pulls out the gun. You see him reaching for the gun? You see? Did you peep that? I'm gonna bring it back again. Right? It got physical. Did y'all catch that? I'm gonna bring it back again. I'm gonna blow it up now. I'm gonna bring it over here. I'm gonna blow it up. I'm gonna get off the screen. You're just gonna hear my voice, right? Y'all just gonna hear my voice, right? Pay attention again. They're talking. They're talking. Leroy is gonna be the aggressor, man. That is why I'm telling you, the other two kids are home. And this third suspect, the one in the red hoodie, he's going to have a strong chance of walking away from this too, man. Pay attention. I'm going to bring it back one more time. I'm going to keep bringing it back, but I'm going to bring it back. Pay attention. See, he had the gun. You see, he had the gun. Look, he stole on the kid in the red, man. He stole on. Did you catch that? He stole on the kid in the red that fired on him. He caught the kid in the red too. He caught the first one, and then he caught the kid in the red. You seen the kid in the red grip up. He gripped up. Now, this is out there, so we're just doing reaction to this. Did y'all catch that? CW, did you see that? Did you see that? He caught the kid that's going to put him down, the one that's going to fire the 8 shots. But he had that gun on him the whole time. He did not pull that gun out until he was struck, right? His cousin or his friends that he claimed he was defending was struck first. Leroy was clearly the aggressor. That is why the other 2 kids, the charges was dropped. See, here it comes right here. What? Go left. He stole on him. He stole on the one in the red. Look, now he grabbed that gun. Look, he's still trying to get at them. Look. What do you think, man? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think of that? See, I didn't want to show that off the bat. I did not want to show that off the bat. Like I said, it took me a while to even want to do this content. Like I said, I know Leroy, rest in peace to him. I know his wife. It took me some time. I did not want to do this content, right? But I've been following this since it happened. And when it initially happened, the initial reports, and I'm going to show the initial reports, they did not depict this right here. They made it seem that the 250 fair hikers with the kids killed him over, right? Did you see the initial, when I pulled this up, right? CW, if you're in here and everybody else that's going to watch this content and see my range and the growth, when I initially pulled this up, the news articles from Atlanta 5, they depicted a totally different narrative. They depicted a total different narrative. You don't see this. You see 3 teens charged with the murder of bus driver Leroy Ramos over $2.50. But when you see the actual video, right? This is the video. That's probably why those other 2 kids are home. and not charged. Because when you look at the video, yes, Leroy was murdered, cold-blooded murder. That was a cold-blooded murder right there. But it could have been avoided. It could have been avoided, right? Because that kid had that gun on him the whole time. Pay attention to this. I'm going to bring it back. Again, I'm just getting my speaking point out. That kid had the gun on him the whole time. The whole time they was popping it, talking shit to each other. He did not pull that gun out. He had it on him. Pay attention to that. He had it on him. Talking about spitting on him and this, that, and the third. Your mother, I'll knock all three of y'all out. Right? You seen when he was stole on, his friend was stole on, he still didn't pull that gun out. When he got stole on, Leroy stole on him too, the one in the red hoodie. He had the red hoodie on. We're going to play the video a couple more times. When he got stole on, you seen him reaching. He reached for the gun. He pulled the gun out. He initially did not shoot Leroy. Leroy attacks them again. You see it in the video. You see it in the video. Leroy is still being the aggressor, attacking. They pulled the gun out. You see he had the gun. He attempts to attack again. And then you hear the shots. I'm going to play it again for y'all. And then we're gonna talk about this some more, man. I'm going to play it once again. I'm going to get off of the screen. I'm going to play it again, and we're going to talk about it some more. There it is, right there. Look, you still want to kill the red. See, he got the gun on him. Look, he got the gun. Got the gun. Leroy still swearing out. He's swinging on him. Look. There it is. Now, did y'all see that? Come on, man. Did y'all see that? Leroy wanted to fight. Yes, man. That is why you see what the kid's mother said. The kid's moms, his attorney, they're confident. They are confident and proceeding. The other two, remember, initially 3 arrests were made. 2 of them, the charges was dropped, man. The charges was dropped. When I first initially was, monitoring this. Like I said, the news made it seem that 250 and they killed him over the 250. But as you see from this surveillance, this cell phone video, were they defending themselves? They're 14, 16 years old. This is a bad situation, right? Leroy, 47 years old, father, husband, was the aggressor against minors. Against minors, man. Clearly was the aggressor. Did you see that, ICW? Did you see that? Who threw the first punch? Who initiated the physical altercation? Who initiated it? Let me eat a chicken one. Who initiated it, CW? It's cool when they do it, right? Bust down a win. Who initiated, CW? Who initiated the physical altercation that led to the shooting, the gun firing? I'll bring it back one more time. Pay attention. Who initiated it? Right? I'm gonna let it play out from all the way right here, from the 3 to 4 minute mark. I'm gonna just talk. Educational purposes only, y'all. This is rest in peace to Leroy Ramos, 47 years old, was shot 3 times at close range by a 16-year-old in Atlanta, Decatur section. He was a bus driver. This is the confrontation right here. I'll beat all 3 of you niggas. I'll beat all 3 of you niggas. Now, see, his co-worker should have just got him back on the bus, man. And got those kids up out of there. But they kept letting it escalate. Look. Still escalating. Right? Escalating. Your mother, look, it's escalating. Yeah? Escalating, right? Escalating. 16 years old, they're young kids. It's escalating. There's Leroy swung right there. Look. He swung. Now look, he pulled the gun out. Look, he pulled the gun out. Look at Leroy squaring up still. Leroy goes at them again. Gun is out now. Gun is out. There's the shots.
Oh shit!
There were the shots. Now look what this. See, now look what they report. This is the chief executive officer, Collie Greenwood, for the bus company. Now this is the initial reports that came out about this.
Colin Greenwood, the CEO of MARTA, addressed the incident too. Leroy was rushed to the hospital where he eventually died of his injuries.
I'm Collie Greenwood, General Manager and CEO of MARTA. On Friday evening, Mr. Leroy Ramos, a member of our bus operations team, was murdered while on the job. He was new to MARTA, having joined us last October, but had already established himself as a friend to many of his coworkers. We are mourning and saddened by this unprecedented tragedy at MARTA. MARTA police acted swiftly. 2 of the suspects were arrested and charged the same day, and the 3rd suspect was in custody a few days later. I have every confidence that justice will be served. It's not a secret. There's been enough.
Now, see, this is what they depicted it when it first popped off. This was what was out on the news. This guy was all over. This is what I see. And then I came across that video. Because like I said, I've been following this. I came across that video because I was like, at first I was like, man, when I seen that 2 of the other kids had been released, I said, yo, what? What's going on down there in Atlanta that he was murdered in cold blood like that? And 2 of the kids are no longer being charged. And I seen this video. And I seen the other video of the kid's mom saying that he was defending his younger cousins or friends. And then I seen the video and I was like, damn. I felt bad for Leroy. Because like I said, I know Leroy. I know his wife. I was like, damn. I seen the video. I was like, oh, man. I was like, this doesn't look good. I was like, Leroy threw the first punch. Leroy stole on the kid that eventually shot him. And I was like, in the kid's defense, right? And that's what we just watched. Like, I'm not going to stay on that long. I'm going to just, I'm doing what I do right now, right? And that kid's defense, that's why I said he has a strong case, because he was stole on. And he did not shoot Leroy. Remember that. We just watched that, man. Yo, he was stole on. First, his friend was stole on. Then he was stole on. And you see him pull out the gun. He pulled out the gun. He gripped up. But he did not fire after being struck. After his friend being struck. Leroy attempted to attack again. You clearly see that in the video. You hear the altercation, then you start hearing the rounds fly off. Leroy was struck 3 times at close range and died of his wounds. But all of this could have been avoided, man. All this could have been avoided. Like I said, that kid had the gun on him the whole time. They was going back and forth. I'll spit on you. I'll knock you 3 motherfuckers out. He never pulled the gun out. Never brandished the weapon. His friend was stolen from a 47-year-old grown man, old enough to be their father. Old enough to be their father. Now, you see, when this first came out, and I showed you the Fox 5 report, they did not depict this as the events that led to the shooting. What they say is that the kids, basically, see, that's why you always got to do your own research. This is for you boxing motherfuckers, too. Pay attention, man. Your narratives be narratives. The news right here, Atlanta Fox 5, put out a narrative, man. They depicted these 3 kids that they jumped on the bus without 250 and killed him over the 250. When in fact, and I say this respectfully, they were defending themselves. Yes, it was the initial cause and effect was over 250. But when you see the whole thing play out, they were attacked. They was attacked. Yeah, they spit on them, or said they would spit on them. But the blows that were thrown, right? The blows that were thrown, and we just watched this, came from a 47-year-old man against minors and teens. One of them happened to be armed with a gun and let off 8 rounds. But we clearly watched this. How is the content looking now, CW? How's the content looking now, man? Bring it back one more time, right? Because I don't want y'all to think that I'm painting a narrative. No narratives being painted here. Spit on me, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'll be all clear. Every time I hear that, I'm like, man, every time, man, I'm like, damn, that could have been avoided, man. Listen, the other 2 kids are home, man. They dropped the charges on 2 of them already. The 3rd kid got a strong possibility of getting the charges dropped too, man. That video right there is so damaging because that video does not go with the initial reports. It doesn't, man. It doesn't, man. I gotta look up Charlie Wilson. Oh, are you talking about the basketball player? Are you talking about the basketball player? The basketball player, are you talking about CW? If you're still in here. I know that story. Yeah, that hit. Are you talking about Ben Wilson or Charlie Wilson? I know Ben Wilson, Benji. Are you talking about Benji, the basketball player? The one that Derrick Rose, Nick Anderson, all those guys rock his number. Are you talking about him, CW? You still in here? Ben Wilson? You know? Ben Wilson was a big guy. He bumped the dude. He was arguing with his girlfriend. And him and his girlfriend was having a fight leaving the school. And he bumped into the guys on the block and then say, excuse me. And then he was on, yo, I'll fuck you up. And dude had a gun on him and fired the shots. They went to jail, though. They did a lot of time behind that because that was Benji Wilson. That's what you're talking about. But now those guys are home, both of them. But they did a lot of time in Chicago. But it was kind of similar. It was a similar what's name. But this one right here, man. If Leroy's co-worker could have got him back on the bus, Leroy would probably still be here for his family. Leroy, yeah, I knew that's who you was talking about. Yeah, Benji Wilson, not Charlie, Ben Wilson. I know that story. But yeah, if Leroy's co-worker could have got him back on the bus, or even walked those kids off, like, yo, walk those kids off, this would have never escalated that way, man. Because if Leroy would have never swung on them, it would have never went that way. It would have never went left, man. Please share the content, like, subscribe. You know, we're doing different things, man. I told you I wasn't going to do no boxing. This right here, I wanted to give it a couple months, man. I wanted to give it a couple months. And I was like, you know what? Today is fitting. I'm home. I already did my daily duties. I dropped off lunch to my daughter. I only got my own shit right here. I did not eat all my lunch. You know, I'm not a big eater like that, man. I'll pick at this the rest of the day. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me put this up. All right, y'all, I'm back. My bad. I'm back. But yeah, I was on not even a whole hour yet, right? I just fed my dogs. I want to point out something, right? These guys be sitting on for countless hours, nothing informative being discussed, nothing. But this story, when it first broke, and I'm going to pull it up again, right? This is informative information, right? When you Google search Leroy Ramos, right? Let's go back over here, right? We'll close out this one. We'll go over here. This is for educational purposes. The news by Shaw News Source Experience. They're showing you a different side of the blog game. The growth. How is the content looking now? AKA no jealous fan zone, huh? But now look, when you Google search Leroy Ramos shooting family, this is Fox 5, right? Right? Fox 5 Atlanta. The headlines read, husband, father, murdered driver, killed over affair. Loved ones call for justice. Third arrest. Remember they made 3 arrests. We just watched all of that, right? Let's read the article. We're going to read some of the briefs, right? The murder driver Leroy Ramos was fatally shot during a dispute over a bus fare. According to police, prompting calls for justice and arrest of the third suspect involved in an accident, right? Let's read the article, though, right? Dozens of union workers joined loved ones for a balloon release at the Decatur Mertha station where the tragedy unfolded Friday. We want to show solidarity. We want to show our condolences to the family, right? So they was all out there. Joined. This is what we watched the CEO talk about that he joined in October. His name echoed the bus station. Argument over 252. Look, I keep saying 250. Over 2,050 bus fare led a passenger to fatally shoot him. Leroy had a big heart. We're going to stand united as a family for him. His wife, Monique Ramos, that's Monique, that's his son. She says they were high school sweethearts who recently got married. Ramos moved to Atlanta from New York, taking a job. He leaves behind 2 daughters and a 7-year-old son. He was big on protecting his family and just people that needed it. Ramos added, police have so far arrested 2 of the juvenile suspects involved, while a third is still at large. All right? Now you see how this article, this is from Fox 5, a major news outlet. But the video that we watched showed a different side. It showed a different side. But this wanted us to believe that when you read it and you don't do your own research, you read it, you say, damn, them savage kids shot him over $2.50. Those savages, the 16 and 14-year-old. But when you watch the video, this same video that we broke down and watched, because I was enraged. I said, yo, how did they free these kids? Because I was like you guys. I seen this on Fox 5. And like I said, I know Leroy, I know Monique. I said, how is this possible that they shot this man down over $2.50 and they released 2 of the kids? Because I watched the mother say, oh, it was self-defense. It was self-defense. Then I seen that video. I said, that's why those 2 kids were released, and they feel strong about the third kid being able to fight this. And it leads me back to what I was saying about boxing. The reason why the boxing community is goofy to me is because of this right here. A report will come out, and the YouTube boxing community, the sheep, the snakes, the weasels, everybody will just run with it, because once one of the programmers puts it out, everybody's going to put it out. Nobody's going to do their own research. Nobody's going to do all their background. He was from Huntington, Brooklyn. He lived in Huntington, Fairground, the Castle, 2nd Street, Huntington Station, South Huntington, Green Lawn. He was from around the way, man. Good guy, man. Sad to see him lose his life like that, man. Like, when you see that video, it could have been avoided, man. It could have been avoided. Like, when you look at the video, that kid didn't really want to kill him. But when you look at the news, Fox 5 made it seem like they were savages. Like they killed him over $2.50. When in fact they really killed him because they kept letting that the $2.50 fare hike escalate. He should have just got back on the bus. His co-worker should have walked those kids off, but he didn't. He allowed them to keep fraternizing and going back and forth. Fuck you. You a bitch. Your mother. All this. I'll spit on you. I'll knock all three of y'all out. It kept escalating, right? To the point where the 47-year-old man and Leroy snuffed both of those guys. Snuffed both of them. Then the 47-year-old Leroy was pulled out on, right? Look, matter of fact, let me get my gun. I'll get my gun for this, right? My kids ain't here. My kids ain't here. I'll do a little reenactment. I'm gonna do the reenactment for y'all, right? I'm gonna do the reenactment. Yo, the kid, he was like this the whole time. Remember, he had the gun. They're going back and forth, right? He didn't want to shoot Leroy. Because look, he had the gun. If he wanted to shoot him, right? If he really wanted to lay Leroy down, when they was going back and forth, he would have pulled out and handled him right then and there. But they was arguing. It kept escalating. They got stolen. He got attacked. When he got attacked, right? When his friend got stolen, he did not pull that gun out. He did not pull the gun out. We watched the video. I'm not going to play it no more because I hit my hour mark. I'm about to get off in a second. He did not pull that gun out when his friend initially got stolen, right? Then he got stolen. We watched the video. When he got stolen, he gripped up. He's like this, right? Look, he gripped up. He pulled the gun out now. Now he has the hammer out, right? He had the hammer out, right? Look, he did not fire, right? We watched the video. He did not fire on Leroy. After being stolen, after him and his homeboy was stolen, he did not fire. You watch Leroy again attack them. You still do not. Look, he got the gun out. He could have fired already. He did not fire again. Leroy attacked them once again. You hear the yard going back and forth, blah, 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 blah. Then you hear, bang, 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 bang. Leroy was hit 3 times at close range. But the video clearly shows that Leroy was the aggressor. But the news, what we just read, doesn't depict that. It depicts those kids that like this. They had a gun. Oh, I ain't paying $250. What? And they let Leroy have it. That's what the news depicts. That he kicked them off the bus, so they didn't want to pay the fare hike, and they gunned him down. But when we watch it, we see that this whole situation that 47-year-old Leroy lost his life over could have been avoided had his co-worker brought him back on the bus, had his co-worker walk those kids off like, yo, you're done. You're not getting on the bus. You don't have the money. But no, they allowed that situation to keep escalating to the point where Leroy put his hands on them. And like I said, they had protection. But the media, Fox 5 News, Atlanta Fox 5 News, the president of that company, they did not put that out there like that. Hopefully y'all caught this source. How was this today, CW? How was my content today, man? I hit my hour mark. If you're going to handle a weapon, make sure you know how to properly handle a weapon. See? Know how to handle a weapon properly. Handle a weapon properly. Handle a weapon properly. If you're going to handle a weapon. Right? because as we've seen in this report, these things do kill. These things do kill, right? And if you're going to use one of these, know how to use it, man. Know how to use it. But this is the Source Experience, the news by Shaw News. You know, you do have options, man. You know, you do have options. Want me to do that again? Want me to cock it again for y'all? I'll show you how to do it. Hold on. Take the clip out. See how I took the clip out? 3 times. 3 times. I cocked it 3 times there, right? Now you look down the barrel. Empty. Empty. All right, it's empty. See, I can look down there and see y'all? It's empty. Now I know this firearm is safe. I know she's safe. So now I can play with my finger on the trigger, right? Never play with your finger on the trigger, but I know this is empty. So I'll play with my finger on the trigger. But no, normal when you handle a gun, see how my hand's not on the trigger? Because you don't want to have that malfunction. This is my Glock, though. Now, when I put this clip back in, I'm definitely not going to play like that. There's the clip is in there now. Now, I'm definitely, see, but my hand is positioned nowhere on that trigger. Nowhere on that trigger. But know how to properly hold one of these, man. Look down the barrel. Pow, 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 pow. But yes, thank you, CW. He said fake narratives, fake news, hocus pocus bullshit. Yeah, man. Smash the like button. I'm going to chop some of this up, put some of these frames out. But in the meantime, between time, I'll give y'all a little bit of boxing right now. Right? I want some boxing because I dropped some fire boxing content already this morning. Right? I dropped some fire boxing content this morning, the truth be told. And I'll play a little bit of that out because I'm going to go check on my dogs. While I check on my dogs, and I put my gun up, my legal gun. You guys out here reporting on me. Look, this is the legal Glock 19 government issue. Right? Real bogey. Carry conceal, right? Nice, right? Go run and tell that, man. Can't lie no more, huh? Can't lie no more. But let's go over here to Fake News Central, right? And give y'all some real news. Give y'all some real news real quick. Everybody's out here reporting on, look, now let me show you something. Let me refresh this page. This is the Ring magazine, right? Ring magazine's page. Are they reporting that? No, I don't see no reports of what so many content creators and YouTube boxing are talking about. Let's go over to Shakur Stevenson's page. Right, because you guys are saying that he left Eddie Hearns, he left Jay Prince. Here's Shakur's. Nope. 2 weeks ago, nope. So he hasn't said anything on IG. Let's go over to Eddie Hearn. Right? Did he release a statement that he's no longer working with Shakur? Nope. It's fight week. Okay, let's go over to Lou DiBella. No post yet. That's Big Lou right there. Let's go over to DiBella ENT, his company, since they will be handling the Shakur Stevenson, moving forward, have they made a release? I don't see it. I don't see it. Let's go. Also, this is only coming off of Dan Raphael put this out. Dan Raphael put this out, and every YouTuber content creator just ran with it. Nobody else has confirmed it. None of the guys that are the players in this have confirmed this. So with that being said, Brother! So with that being said, hold on. Yeah, come on. Come on, boy. Come on, Brian. Yeah. Yeah. What's up? All right, y'all, I'm back. My bad. Yeah, I just, you know what it is, right? Whenever I have my dogs outside, whenever I have my dogs outside, yeah, whenever I have my dogs outside like that, and I hear a horn or something, blow like that, I get real nervous now, man. I just get nervous because remember, I had my incident with Zeus, so that's all that was. I had to make sure that they were good. I had to make sure they were good. Yeah, but yeah, you see, no, look, oh yeah, see them heads right there, boy. Don't play. Look, don't play. Yeah, don't play. Don't play. Let me put this. Let me secure this now. I'm going to secure this. Hey, Nasaya. Yeah, here comes Nasaya. Secure this. My daughter's here. Hey, Big Nance. That's Big Nance. But yes, you see, none of the major players, CW, in that have made any statements. But if you come on the YTC, that's what everybody's talking about. I just wanted to show that. And in fact, by showing that, now I'll come over here and we'll close out with this right here. These guys all made these statements, and the content is running rampant because of what Dan Raphael said. But in fact, none of the people that we're reporting this on have confirmed any of this. But that is YouTube boxing in a nutshell. That is YouTube boxing in a nutshell.
Exploring alleged thumbnail errors and a legal dispute with Shakur Stevenson.
Puts fights together, signs, fighters, and all of that. This thumbnail is inaccurate, right? He says the content Shakur Stevenson fires Hearn and hires DeBella. That's a breach of contract. Hopefully some of you guys are educated, because you know me, I'm a municipality worker.
Let's dissect the misinformation surrounding Shakur Stevenson's controversial contract claims.
Put that up. Hold on. Can y'all see that? Do y'all see that? So he said this 10 hours ago. I was just talking about this. Shocking news. Turkey and Eddie Hearn fall out as Shakur Stevenson fires Hearn, hires DeBella. That right there, I'll get to that in a second. I'll get to that in a second. All right. That right, his title. And this is a guy, matter of fact, I'll get to that before I go, right? His thumbnail, right? For those of y'all that you guys supposed to be in the game. He's supposed to be in the game, right? The Chinese. His thumbnail. And this is he's an executive. Well, he used to be. I don't know. Is he still an executive with BLK Quan? But his thumbnail right here. He's supposed to be somebody that does whatever behind the scenes, puts fights together, signs fighters, and all of that. This thumbnail is inaccurate, right? He says Shakur Stevenson fires Hearn and hires DeBella. That's a breach of contract. Hopefully some of you guys are educated, because you know me, I'm a municipality worker. I drive trucks and do heavy equipment shit. But his title is a breach of contract, because Shakur Stevenson can't fire somebody that he's in a binding contract with, right? He just signed how many fights with Matchroom, right? He only had one fight with them, right? I believe. I think he has a 2 to 3 fight deal, or at least 2 fights. He only had one fight. He's scheduled for a second fight July 12th. So if he fired somebody that he's under a binding contract for at least 2 to 3 fights, that doesn't even sound right. But this is what you guys listen to, right? Just 10 hours ago, almost 9,000 views. So you guys are listening to this. A lot of you guys are probably arguing about this. No, I don't know. I seen this well, I didn't see his. I'll check it out later.
Exploring Shakur Stevenson's contract complexities and potential consequences of his firing choices.
Can't fire somebody that he's in a binding contract with, right? He just signed how many fights with Matchroom, right? He only had one fight with them, right? I believe. I think he has a 2 to 3 fight deal, or at least 2 fights. He only had one fight. He's scheduled for a second fight July 12th. So if he fired somebody that he's under a binding contract for at least 2 to 3 fights, that doesn't even sound right.
Discover how false narratives poison your mind with high engagement content.
Almost 9,000 views. So you guys are listening to this. A lot of you guys are probably arguing about this. He's pushing this bogus. Let's go into his page. And I'm gonna go show the other guy. These are guys you guys watch. They poison your mind. How's the content looking now, y'all? Huh?
Explore Shakur's bold move on Blue Blood Sports TV. Eddie Hearn released.
Poison with the Shakur firing. How's the content looking? Shakur has fired. He fired what's the name? He fired Eddie Hearns and them.
In the world of boxing, energy is everything. Let's explore Stevenson's spotlight.
Where is it? Let's see. Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, here right here. Here it goes right here. See? Shakur Stevenson will be co-main event. That's the energy. That's the energy, right? I don't see none of those for Devin and Tio, the co-main event for Ryan. This is what I'm talking about. But this is the same thing over there with that. But why? Where's the energy for that? There's no energy. No energy for that, y'all. No energy at all.
Don't know Glenn Robinson. He don't know Dennis Scott. Lord have mercy.
This guy, look, all these guys. Shout out to his guy, man. But none of these guys are
please. We gonna educate the little.
On none of this stuff. You know why? You know why they're not reporting on none of this? I like that.
I just walked into this won't even turn on now.
Okay, we'll go to the what's the name later. Yes, we gotta go get Nasaya a new phone. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the content, right? Source experience, man. Like, share, and subscribe. You know, you do have what? Options, but this is the Source Wave, man. Once again, rest in peace to Leroy Ramos. We're going to be chopping that up. And we'll probably do a follow-up on that as well, man.
Yeah. Yo, what's up? Joe Harris Boxing with the Source. Source experience. But what? What do I know?
Got it. Hey, this is Coach Larry Wade, I Build Champions. Hey, I train professional boxers, and you with Sauce Talk Podcast. You don't want to miss anything that he puts on here.
Appreciate you.